Hello? How you doing? It's Sunday. You alright? Got a new rumour here about Doctor Who. Doctor Who's been in the news for better or for worse. Sadly, worse. We had the showrunner kicking up a stink, being very, very rude on Twitter. And a lot of people... I had a few people go, look, he's well within his right to. He's allowed to do that. He's actually not. It is actually against his contract. And this is the issue. A lot of people... I think it predominantly comes down to the American Doctor Who audience. They don't realise that the British broadcasting, who basically make Doctor Who, have quite specific funding, and they have quite specific contracts. They're publicly funded, so they really shouldn't be acting in that way. Not least of all because it's actually against their contract. But so that was the last update I did, and then we've got this new rumour, so I thought we'd dive into this, ladies and gents. A side note to anyone that is waiting for my Alien Isolation playthrough, I haven't had a chance to film it last night, and they take a few hours to render, so it won't be released today, it will be released in the coming week, but then it will go back to normal schedule as it has been. But I didn't want to film it in the daytime because I have been filming it at night, so it's all black and it all looks cool, and just I wanted to keep with the continuity. So there you go. Anyway, this article is linked down below. Please do follow along with me. But anyway, there's a new rumour, which basically means it posits that Jodie Whittaker's agent is like, get out of Dodge quick, now, because this is doom and gloom for your career. Jodie Whittaker in the UK is, by all accounts, and wider spread anyway, essentially a nobody. She doesn't really do anything. She hasn't really been anything. She's fine, but in the UK, she's not exactly someone who's universally well loved. She's not a big name actress. She's not a household name. So this, I can actually believe to a certain degree that her agent would have recognised this and gone, oof, this isn't particularly great for your career. We should probably get the ball rolling on maybe get a new gig. So it kind of makes sense. She's not had the best PR from all of this, so it makes sense to me anyway. But so this new rumour comes from another YouTuber. I don't know this individual. I can't even pronounce this. Zvi Lebetkin. I probably butchered it, but hey, look, whatever. Now, they say, it says at around the 2740 mark, the individual explains that the rumour is, so I've been contacted from a source from Cardiff, which, if you don't know, is Wales, part of the UK, and is predominantly where the BBC film a lot of their stuff. Cardiff and Wales is it's actually quite a big film production in that area. So he says, I don't know if this is true. So I've got this guy from Cardiff, got in contact with me and said, here's what's really going on. There you go. And furthermore, says Jodie Whittaker's agent has been screaming at Jodie Whittaker, probably not literally. She's got to get off the show. She's got to get off the show because Jodie Whittaker's agent or agent business is looking at the reality, not the fantasy. And this makes an awful lot of sense, actually, to be in fairness. Again, I can believe that they would look at this situation and go, oof, it's really not doing wonders for your career. The agent obviously earns money off the back of the people they represent, and they would probably be looking to say, hey, look, we can get out of this contract this year. Let's probably push out of this and let's move on. It's really not a big stretch. It's not. I know a lot of people will probably look at this and go, oh, it's just hate. No. It's not a big stretch at all. If the show's ratings are going down and the viewership's going down, actors would jump ship, especially if they believe that they have better opportunities elsewhere. It makes perfect sense. And obviously continues further and says, and the reality is the ratings have been on a nosedive. It's been an incredibly successful show, an incredibly successful international juggernaut, which is coming off one of the most successful periods ever. And now it's gone to one of the least successful periods ever. And she is the public face of that. Yep. Not much you can disagree with there. It is big elsewhere. The BBC in the UK, the people who make this, British Broadcasting, they are pretty reviled at the moment. again, the guys in the States may not know this, but in the UK, they have lost somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 million pounds in funding from the public because they've just all cancelled their TV licenses. People have had enough. So, yeah. Again, I can believe this. There's nothing here which is actually outlandish. Like, this is all just looking at the landscape and going, well, it was successful, it's not anymore, the ratings are going down. So, for anyone that just says, it's rumour, it's probably bollocks. Well, maybe not. It could be, but maybe not. It dipped in popularity under Capaldi for various reasons, and I think that's a much longer conversation, but then it fell off of a cliff of popularity with Jodie Whittaker. Again, yeah, probably. The rumour is that Jodie Whittaker's agent is desperate for her to get off the show because this is destroying her career. She doesn't really have a career. She doesn't have a career outside of it. She's never been a massive name in the UK anyway. So unless this makes her a household name for the guys in the States, this is not going to be catapulting her to many major jobs here in the UK. I doubt it anyway. So she's like, well, why do you think that? And the agent apparently showed her all of these tweets from John the White. Many other people online saying, look how bad this is going. Look how reviled you are. I can't imagine that they would actually show them tweets. That's probably not what they've done. I think that, in fairness, is probably a little bit of embellishment because of the showrunner and John the White. They are two prominent figures, so in terms of them having like weird Twitter spats, I can't imagine this individual, the agent, would have showed them tweets. It's probably not what they've done. They would have said, hey, look, the ratings are bad. Bad for money. Not good. That's how these people understand one another. They wouldn't be looking at tweets. That's really not what they would have done. And so anyway, we go look at anything they post. It's always the ratios are absolutely terrible. They don't really care much about ratios. Remember, and again, people will probably think I'm just poo-pooing this needlessly. These people genuinely think Twitter is the center of the planet. So they're not going to be looking at all of the negative ones. They're going to be looking at the overwhelming popular ones. So highly unlikely that they're going that way anyway. He then reiterated again. So this is somebody from Cardiff saying that Jodie Whittaker's agent is apoplectic and that she's got to get off the show, which is destroying her career. Is this true? I don't know. Is it logical? Yes, it's certainly logical. It is certainly logical. The data is not good. The data for this era is not good. And I fear the data is going to get a lot worse. I think we can all probably agree that, yeah, it will get a lot worse. It's not going to massively improve. They have to do something quite dramatic for it to improve, which under this Chibnall is probably not going to happen. I can't imagine it would. Because, again, when you disconnect yourself from this fandom of Doctor Who, it's because the people who are making it have gone... They're just very blinkered. They don't care. They believe that they will always have this funding and that they will always have the viewership and that they can just keep going regardless without anyone holding them to account. But like I said, large swathes of the British public have just cancelled their TV license. So they have actually lost an awful lot of money. It's not a small amount. It's a large sum of cash. So anyway... Here you go. I mean, here's the data to back it up. So the data is trending downward quite rapidly. The last Doctor Who saw the show's premiere episode, Spyfall Part 1, 6.89 million in the United Kingdom. And the series finale had dipped to 4.69 million. That's a lot. It's not a small drop-off. That's a big drop-off. That's the lowest recorded viewership since the 1986, The Trial of a Time Lord, Mindwarp Part 6, which is viewed by 4.6 million. So you've got to remember, the British populace has vastly grown since then. So for them to only get, it's like inflation and money, you know? You've got to account for that. That would have actually been a pretty big viewership back then anyway. But it was still some of the lowest. But our British populace has grown even more since then. We're at like 90 odd, well, probably over 90 million now. So yeah, 4.69 million is terrible. That's awful for a publicly funded show. Yeah, that's real bad. So again, I'm trying to come at this from like a UK perspective because I know this will actually interest quite a lot of you guys in the States because some of this you may not know. But yeah, that's terrible. So the show faced similar declines in the United States. on BBC America. TV series finale reported Spyfall Part 1 was viewed by 790,000 people, and by the time this children viewership was down to 374. Awful. Really, really bad. So there you go. Not much else to really go into here. It's a little bit of a rumour, but I can believe it. It's definitely logical. I don't buy that they showed Jodie Whittaker tweets. I would imagine that's complete nonsense. Highly, highly unlikely. They don't think in those terms. These people are very blinkered, so Twitter to them is only the positives and they believe it. And the negatives, the only thing which they take on board would be money. So they'll be looking at the ratings going, yeah, this is bad. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Take care.